my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah. I look into the sky with all the beautiful color, but there's more than just for me, so gonna share it with another. I got to show, to give, let out. I want to sing and shout. Take a look and see a beautiful morning.
Been in here and people are roaring with laughter, so.
It's a dirty show, though.
Well, it's clean dirt.
You have here the best of the best.
Yes.
So we have many celebrity here. The Harley Madison come over here, and the Usher come over here many often, and the Paris Hilton come here.
Boy, I'm dating myself, but it's okay. Nobody else will. Oh.
That's so Vegas.
How do you see the world?
At Shriners Hospitals for Children, we know that changing how you see things can turn them into
everyday miracles.
Like riding my bike.
Breaking boards. Hugging my mom.
Every day for over 90 years, Shriners Hospitals for Children has been sending love to the rescue, regardless of a family's ability to pay.
If you know a child we can help, call or go online now.
Welcome to That's So Vegas. I'm your host, Christine McKellar, here in the fabulous Las Vegas Arts District, downtown Las Vegas, Nevada, very close to a really popular and wonderful restaurant on Fremont Street called Therapy. And I am lucky enough to have the chef here from Therapy, Chef Talon. Welcome.
Thank you. How you doing?
I'm thrilled to have you here. The holidays are coming up. I love your establishment. You have the most interesting menu.
It's unique, yeah. We have a lot of signature items. I try to take a little bit of our fine dining and bring it more approachable for our clientele downtown.
Right. We're going to talk a little bit about that, but you have a very impressive background. I know that you've worked your way up, probably like most of us do, from the basic job on up, but you've worked for some of the best chefs in town, and that includes you were at DB Brasserie with Daniel Boulud.
I was with Daniel Boulud for, I opened up DB Brasserie in the Venetian. I was there for about a year and a half. Before that, I was at Commissaire in the Cosmopolitan, a lot of French background.
Right.
I mean, I came out here in 07, went to culinary school. I started, washing dishes, the first job I could get. And I had some good chefs. They kind of, gave me an opportunity, kept moving me forward until eventually I, worked my way up to chef, which, everybody wants to do. So.
Right. Well, they must have seen potential. I mean, I saw you whip these two beautiful, beautiful presentations. We'll talk about them in the next segment. But I know you have a beet.
We have a roasted beet salad, so it's baby beets, hearts of palm.
And then a duck.
And then a roasted duck.
A roasted duck, but oh boy. So
two of my favorites.
Well, I'm glad you brought them because they're two of my favorites too. It's really amazing how, palates. And speaking of palates, I know, you were more or less groomed, one could say, on the Strip, again, with really some of the top chefs. Komeka was, I remember when that opened. I was in the media and we were at the opening. It was...
Yeah, it was a beautiful restaurant. I mean, it's no longer there, but it's... Right. It was a wonderful place. I learned a lot. Some really good chefs there.
I think I met Bobby Flay there at the.
Yeah, opening. There would always be people coming. The chefs would be coming in and have some drinks. So we cook them some special stuff. The menu was really eclectic though. I liked working at that place. It taught me a lot. The chef was really great.
So it's kind of like you come out and you're hit with some of the really great stuff. So anything after that's a little bit, and then. Yeah. The DB Brasserie, I remember when that opened, and again, gosh, who wasn't there? Hubert Keller, all of the chefs. It's funny how you guys, you would think that you'd all be highly competitive in cutting throats.
Thomas Keller always comes by. When we opened up Commissaire, Thomas Keller would come by and check out and see his competition, And he did the same thing with DB Brasserie. After we opened, I helped him open that. Then here comes Keller. He wants to check it out and see what's going on. And I mean, of course, him and Boulud are friends, and they've been friends for a long time. But.
And then when they do the grand tasting and the things like that, and the Vegas Uncorked every year, I mean, these guys party. They get together and, they're just right there with you. It's hard to believe, that because the concentration as a chef has got to be tremendous. How many people do you have working with you?
Well, at Therapy, we're a small establishment. We make everything from scratch still, but I only have one sous chef right now.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I run with two, but for the most part, just one. 2 or 3 cooks and a couple of prep cooks, and I mean that's really it.
But I like that. That gives it an intimacy and a more hands-on approach.
Yeah, we're a small little family. You know, I like to bring in kids that are younger, that want to learn.
Help them up the ladder too.
Yeah, I kind of teach them what I know, and they're excited, and they really want to be in the business, and it's a great opportunity for to teach a lot of people. So
do you see talent? I mean, anybody could go like we do. Some of us, we get a cookbook, and then you go off the cookbook. And
well,
now
I mean, that's what I do. I get a lot of books. I read a lot. That's where a lot of my inspiration comes from the other chefs and what's trending now and what they're doing. So, I mean, I think everybody takes a little bit from other people and kind of makes their own. And
right.
It'd
be like writing a book.
Yeah.
I've written books, and I know that people say, "Oh, did you model that character after this person?" I always say, "No, it was a myriad of persons."
Yeah, I mean,
different.
A lot of things have already been done. It's hard to be, truly original, but I think.
Well, your menu is wonderful. Again, it's really something. I mean, just sitting there to read it.
Yeah, I mean, we try. I've been on a lot of fine dining. That's what I like to do. I like to do small plates. 5-7 course tastings and
I love those.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. But
Charlie Trotter's that brings to mind.
Yeah,
I have actually had one of his dinners, but you know what? It was too long. It was 3.5 hours. It was like
yeah, when you get into 15 and 16 courses, it's too much. But that's more my style. I like doing the more fine dining. So I try to take that background that that I've been taught, and I try to make it a little bit more approachable and have fun with things. So I have a few more fancy plates that I like to call them, like the beet and the duck, and
beautiful.
And I have some some funner stuff like our red velvet waffles, and chicken sliders, and the fried mac and cheese with tomato bacon jam. So,
tomato bacon jam.
Sriracha aioli. It's delicious.
My mouth just watered, which is whoa! I'm going to start salivating here. So there is a difference, wouldn't you say, between it having been in training and having risen to the occasion on the Strip, and now you're downtown, and I don't care what people say, they are two separate animals.
They are, yeah.
Kinda,
I mean, you never know what's going to happen downtown. Sometimes you're crazy packed, and then some, you just you don't have no reservations, and you packed again because everybody comes down.
Ebb and flow, but it's a different clientele, don't you think?
Yeah, we get a lot of tourists, but there's a lot of locals too. You got to kind of rely on the locals because that's what's good, Right. That's what brings you the business when it's slow. So we try to gear more towards them and make their experience pleasurable. And
I think, and I know what I enjoy, and other locals wouldn't, even tourists alike, but you can walk down to Fremont Street Experience. So
yeah, it's right there.
It's a good excuse to pig out and try a little bit of everything from Chef Talon, because then you can go walk it off, and there's a lot of advantageous parking, dare I say, where more and more people now are abandoning the locals anyway, some of the bigger properties, because if you go 2 places in one night, that's half a meal.
Yeah, you gotta pay.
So. And do you get excited over the holidays? I mean, is that where you really get your creative?
I do. We try to change the menu twice a year. We're going to come up on another menu change here in April, and I like to bring some things back, try some new things. This last menu, we added on a bao. So it's one of my favorite dishes. I love.
What was it?
A barbecue bao. So we make a Korean barbecue sauce with pork belly, and then it has the fluffy bao buns. One of my favorite things. So we put that on there, and it's selling really well. It's one of the favorites.
Oh my goodness!
So we just try to change it up a little bit and see.
Right, but everybody does love to know what they can always go to a favorite, a standard or something on your menu that.
We have signature items that they never change. I mean, our nudie, which is baked ricotta with fig jam and cranberry crostinis, and then we have chicken meatballs, jalapeno cilantro pesto.
Oh my goodness!
The Devil's on Horseback, which is bacon wrapped dates. Those are our signature items. I never
love
go away.
those. I had those. I love dates
they
anyway.
Are delicious,
and oh boy! And so you call them Devils on Horseback. That's interesting.
Classic Spanish.
I have to give a quick shout out to my sponsor who keeps me on the air, and then we'll come back for second segment. We're going to talk about these fantastic dishes sitting here, and we'll talk more with Chef Talon. But until we come back, don't forget the Red Roof Inn is on Paradise. It's across from the Hard Rock Hotel, close to the Strip and Airport, and they're friendly, pet friendly. They're friendly to people, but they're pet friendly too. So don't go away. I'll be right back with Chef Talon from Therapy on Fremont Street. See you in just a minute. Well, hey there. Welcome to That's So Vegas. This is our new studio in the famous Las Vegas Arts District, downtown Las Vegas. We're here to rock your world.
was going to ask you how it felt to be breaking good here at the Bellagio for the National Center.
You did.
Your last CD was My Secret Life. I wanted to ask you what your secrets were. Tune in and turn on with us in downtown Las Vegas. This is where the action is, and that's So Vegas. Welcome back to That's So Vegas. I'm your host, Christine McKellar. I'm here with the fantastic Chef Talon from Therapy Restaurant on Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas, Nevada. And I watched you, before we came on air, I watched you plate these two incredible dishes here. So your artistry is fantastic. We've talked about your background, which is equally as fantastic. You started at the bottom, worked your way up through some of the best chefs in the world. So how are things at Therapy now? I know you're liking that. It's a different clientele. And
Therapy's wonderful. It's I'm glad I have the opportunity to work downtown. It's a whole different experience.
I love the vibe. When I walk in, Maria's still there, right?
Yeah, Maria's still there.
Love
She's
Maria. She's been a
general
guest on the
manager.
show. Yes.
She's hilarious. She's always tried to keep it fun in the front and, make sure everybody's having a good time, taken care of.
And you're so close to the Fremont Street experience that I was saying earlier, you could walk the food off. But when you're faced with something like this is your presentation, I think your prices are fairly reasonable.
They are. We adjusted the menu a little bit. I tried to bring things down a little bit because I felt like the stuff was getting too high. I wanted to make sure and keep it reasonable.
Right.
But I try to keep things simple too. So I like beautiful plates, but if there's too much going on, then it kind of everything drowns each other out. So I try to just keep the simplicity and just do things and let their own flavor shine.
Right.
So a couple of my favorite dishes are our beet salad. So we call it Beets by Therapy.
I'm going to hold this up. I hope that the camera can do it justice.
So we do a beet puree, we do roasted baby beets, a little bit of candy cane striped beets, which are raw, and then goat cheese, hazelnuts, fresh hearts of palm, a little mustard frill on top for garnish, and then I do an orange gel. So it's orange ash. I take the oranges, roast them really hard in the oven until they're almost black and they get smoky and they actually turn a little bit sweet, and I dehydrate them, turn them into a powder, and then we make a fluid gel out of them. So it's orangey, but you get a little smokiness and it's a little something different.
Do you roast the whole orange or just
roast the whole orange, just throw it in the oven and forget about it for,
Do you know I'm going to try
hours
that? I think that sounds fascinating. And I was saying it's like when you roast a marshmallow. I like mine burnt and crispy because it's got that. And my neighbor has orange trees that hang over their fence, so there are oranges everywhere. I'm going to go home and roast them and see. And then do you take a paring knife or how do you?
I just break them apart and I scrape the inside out, and then we dehydrate them for a little while until they're nice and hard, and then make a powder out of them. I love citrus. I grew up in Central California, and there were orange groves and lemon groves all
Southern
around.
Cali here, yeah.
All around the place, everywhere. So
they keep the ash.
Yeah, it's just a powder. It's just like any other spice. It doesn't, it lasts forever, really. But we go through it pretty fast.
And where do you get these enchanting beets?
So those are just candy cane striped beets. We shave them real thin and make punch out circles of them. It's a raw beet basically. So you get 3 different types of beets.
Gorgeous.
Yeah,
and then this is your other favorite?
Yeah, that's a new item that we just put on this winter. We did a roasted duck. So we make a butternut squash puree, a little bit of vanilla, a little kind of get some Christmas spices in there, a little nutmeg, cinnamon. Roasted root vegetables, we do some rutabaga, some celery root, some more butternut squash, and then we make a jus out of huckleberries.
Huckleberries?
Yeah.
Oh, are they? Where do you get them?
Usually they come from the northwestern, Washington.
And that's the huckleberries.
The huckleberries, yeah. We use a little red wine, a little more spice, make a puree out of it, and after we reduce it down, a little honey. And then fresh pomegranate seeds.
Lovely. I like the pop in them.
Yeah, something a little fresh and bright. And then we also make our pepita granola. So some.
That would be this.
Yeah, we take wild rice, puff it, a little bit of quinoa, and then of course some pumpkin seeds. Make a nice granola out of it.
Whoa! Do you put brown sugar or anything in it? Or
brown sugar, butter, syrup. It's not super sweet though. It's got a lot of sugar, but there's not a lot in the batch, so it's not super sweet.
So it's
a
kind of
little
balanced.
It's a little salty, got a little bit of sweetness, a little savory.
I'm lucky I'm not a big sugar freak. I mean, I've never put it in coffee or iced tea or anything. Maybe I just wasn't raised that way. I never kept sodas in the house or anything like that. So do you depend a lot on herbs and spices to create these dishes? Or
Yeah, I do. We make a lot of our own spice mixtures at Therapy. One of our biggest sellers is our Cuban sandwich. So I came up with a spice rub for that. We take fresh pork shoulder. We braise it for 3 or 4 hours, and then I make a spice mixture out of, they have, there's a company that has a lot of great spices.
don't give them a plug. No.
I'm just trying to think of the name. Anyways, they have a lot of great spices, so I get all my spices from them, and I make my own rubs. They have a dark chili powder, so we take a little dark chili powder, some cumin, some smoked paprika, a little sumac. That's one of my favorite spices.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that it goes well. It's more of a Mediterranean spice, but it's a little lemony, so I like to throw it in there.
Can I buy that at the grocery market or?
You should be able to.
Probably?
Yeah, you should be able to find it.
I'm going to put that on my list. I was saying to you on break, I have a huge built-in spice rack at my house. And not that I cook that much anymore. Once the kids are grown and you're out working all the time, then you just don't get into the kitchen. So that brings me to, what would you cook at home if you had your way or had to? Or...
Actually, well, I really like chili peppers. One of my favorite things I've been messing around with lately is actually chili Colorado. So I found a great recipe. You take, some Guajillo chilies, some New Mexico chilies, a couple different red chilies, and then you rehydrate them, and then you cook them. You puree the sauce and then cook down. You do beef, pork, whichever you'd like. You just cook it for slow cook it for 3 or 4 hours and get that real dark,
Oh, that is delicious. I love. Some like it hot. I like it hotter. I hope my son. His girlfriend Jessica watches this because she's a great little cook, and we're always exchanging dishes back and forth. And I do love the peppers. They have that Chinese chili oil, not the paste, the oil that has the chilies in it.
It's a nice little.
I ordered on Amazon because I just go through it, So, but some people don't like heat. How would you?
Well, I mean, it all depends. I think there's a few great chefs, and they try to put like 4 elements into every dish that you make. A little bit of spice, a little bit of sweetness, a little bit of tang, and then a little bit of saltiness.
So how would you describe your menu? Is it continental? Is it?
I mean, we're all over the place. I have Asian flavors. I have European flavors. There's
a
lot of French,
a
lot of French influence. But then you have your American, your traditional American things too. Sandwiches,
right.
Spanish.
We have everything. Burger. What is that burger I had? Is it
the sexy burger? Yeah.
Probably.
That's what we call it. It's so just a Wagyu patty, scallion mayo. We roast some tomatoes in the oven, real low, so they kind of concentrate and the flavors get real nice and sweet. A bit of lettuce and then a potato bun. So.
Interesting. I can't eat raw tomatoes. I don't know what it is, but I love them cooked. If they're cooked, I mean, I'll drink, tomato juice, and if they're roasted right, and the fried green tomato thing.
Yeah, I love fried green tomatoes.
So I wonder if that cuts the acidity, or does it increase it when you cook it, or
I'm not sure. Everything kind of concentrates and they get sweet. It's funny how you roast things and all the flavors concentrate and they just kind of. It changes the whole, the whole dynamic of a lot of things.
Well, I've learned. I mean, I'm already just sitting here thinking of sumac, which I've always thought of the tree. Yeah. But I didn't. I wonder if it does have a berry or flower or leaf.
I think it's a berry, and then they grind it after they dehydrate it. But it's a great flavor. I was using it when I worked at the Hard Rock. Our Mediterranean salad. That was the first time I got to use it, and I've been in love with it ever since. I try to throw it in where I can.
People respond to it well, probably not even knowing.
They don't even know it's in there. I mean, but
your descriptions on your menu too are fantastic. Do you write those out?
Yeah, the whole menu is pretty much. I try to.
Yeah, because just reading the menu, you can go online. Actually, is it therapy.com?
Yeah.
Okay. That's easy. But
I think it's therapylv.com.
Therapylv.com. Well, time flew. I have to give a shout out to my sponsor. Again, we're going to go to a quick break, and then we'll be back with Chef Tal. We'll talk a little bit about the holiday things coming up. Remember, the Red Roof Inn is pet-friendly, person-friendly. They're close to the airport and Strip. Free parking. What more could you ask for? Oh, free Wi-Fi and continental breakfast for guests. I'll be right back with Chef Tal, and don't go away.
It's pretty amazing when you consider that 7 years ago, we didn't have the treatments we have now. We cure 80% of children with cancer. If you think about that, I mean, go back 50 years, we were curing 20 to 30%. This is the miracle story of modern medicine. We understand what makes this cancer tick. And of course, without donors from around the world, this just couldn't happen. There's one thing we're focused on here at St. Jude, and that's beating this thing.
Welcome back to That's So Vegas. I'm Christine, and I've been drooling. I'm going to be starving by the time this episode's over because I've been here with Chef Talon from Therapy on Fremont Street in Las Vegas. Had a delightful time. I've learned some things from you, like the sumac to spice up. You recommend that with a Cuban dish, was it? Or?
Yeah, we have a Cuban sandwich. It's a big seller, especially during lunch.
Because of the sumac, and that's his special.
I think that's the secret ingredient.
Right. The burnt orange, just roast some orange, get that, and all that. And boy, you've got a lot going on. You've got holiday, Valentine's Day special.
Valentine's Day's coming up. Yeah, we're running a three-course menu, $40 per person. You can start out with our beet salad, or I'm going to also make a onion soup gratin, which is one of my favorites. I love a good onion soup.
I do too.
A little crouton, fresh Gruyere,
Do you use the Gruyere?
Gruyere, yeah.
Yeah.
You a nice Gruyere on top, a little Parmesan too. Get it nice and crispy, and
it's French.
It's the best. Yeah, the best.
It's like that champagne.
The cheese. I love cheese. I gotta have cheese on almost everything.
I come from a long line of cheesemakers from Switzerland that
Really?
migrated to upstate New York. That's another story. But you're also doing a Veuve Clicquot champagne.
Yeah,
special.
champagne for $75.
A bottle.
Oh yeah, a whole bottle for $75, or a glass for $15.
Oh, okay. So it's better to buy a bottle.
Yeah.
If there are two of you, just think about it.
You're gonna drink the bottle. You might as well get the bottle. And then for a second course, we have the roasted duck, petite fillet. We're also gonna do a grilled swordfish with asparagus and a sauce vert.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
And then for dessert, we're offering our crumbled carrot cake or our chocolate banana bread pudding. So.
Oh, chocolate banana bread pudding! I love bread pudding.
It's one of my favorite. We put that on about a year ago, and it sells great. So we make a fresh banana sorbet, which is it's vegan because it's just banana puree, so it's sugar basically, and then chocolate bread pudding. So.
Chocolate, yum! That just really sounds so good to be true. And there's something for everybody.
We do get a lot of couples. People making their last minute plans, trying to find somewhere to get in, and we have a lot of reservations still open. We have a few tables. So.
I like that when you do that. You kind of reserve those in case somebody really special pops in too. I know that from past experience. Not at your restaurant.
Well, our restaurant's pretty big, actually. We can fit quite a few.
The cool thing too, and I have to say this again because I think viewers will appreciate it if you live here, is that you can really. I know when I've been at Therapy and I think, well, maybe we're not going to make it to dessert. But we do, because we always say, well, then we can walk it off. Because you have the Fremont Street experience right there. It's really a nice location. It's easy to get to off the freeway. Plenty of convenient parking and free parking. And, those things are becoming more and more attractive to people.
Since everything's paid for now.
Anything that you would recommend that somebody tries that maybe, is there something really unusual on your menu that perhaps?
I think there's something for everyone. I mean, a couple of our dishes were featured on the Travel Channel. So, like the red velvet and chicken waffle sliders and the fried mac croquettes, two of my favorite dishes. We get a lot of people coming in. They've seen the show. They want to come in and try it. Everybody loves it. So.
How did you manage a restaurant, manage doing that at the same time? I mean, you must have been 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, that's a life of a chef. You're always busy, always something going on. I'm always at the restaurant, so.
A lot of people don't realize that, and I'm not trying to be maudlin or silly or anything, but there's a lot of sacrifice when it comes to that.
It's long hours. I mean, it takes a lot, But I try to get a balance in. I have a family, a girlfriend, and a daughter. I try to make sure that I get my time with them, and I can't work all the time, so I take my time. And
does your daughter like to cook?
She's 4 right now, yeah, but at daycare, she's always playing with the in the kitchen, and so they have a lot of different stuff, and she's always wanting to help, and she made brownies last night.
So, that's really cute. I remember when my son was little, he loved helping me make meatballs and things like that.
Yeah,
so,
she loves being in the kitchen.
Cooking just goes across the board because everybody has to eat. But wouldn't you say that Las Vegas really is the city? I mean, we've all been, or not, well, some of us have been to Paris. I was lucky, but people have been all over the world. And of course, there's always been fine dining and, you know, San Diego, New York, LA. But I think Las Vegas actually is where it became a nexus, don't you think?
Yeah,
Didn't all the greatest chefs in the world come here?
It's a little bubble. You can get something from everywhere here, you know. And then we have a lot of great chefs, and a lot of the greatest chefs are here.
Well, I would consider you one of them.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. You know.
I saw how you put this together right here in the
it's
studio.
Simple. I mean,
and
it's really simple. After you
you have a good eye.
You learn a few techniques, and then you know.
And you know what it really does?
Together.
It makes the food, for some reason, taste better. I guess it's psychological, as opposed to just like mashing something on.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's you always, like they say, you always feast with your eyes first, and then if it looks like if it doesn't
feast
look good,
with your eyes. So, do you plate food at home, or do you even cook at home, or do you let your wife or your
She does most of the cooking.
Oh,
I
she
cook
does.
all day long. She's a chef too, but
well, there you go. Keep it in the family.
Yeah, but for the most part, she does most of the cooking.
Well, you could kind of take turns, and we've run out of time.
Yep.
I know.
Thanks for having me. I do appreciate it.
Oh, it's just been a slice of culinary heaven, to be quite honest. Really enjoyed having you here, and I learned some things, and I always like that, and I know our viewers have learned some things, and this has just been a delight. I mean, just visually looking at it and the creativity, and again, Therapy Restaurant on Fremont Street. I'm not doing this as an advertisement or anything, but it's really an excellent restaurant. You have a great staff, good food, and it's just, and it's well located. So for Valentine's Day, consider some therapy for you and your sweetheart. Until next week, I'm Christine McKellar, and that's So Vegas. I'm Christine McKellar with this week's latest Las Vegas entertainment updates. Last week I enjoyed an incredible evening in a hangar at the North Las Vegas Airport for the launch of the latest in a series of luxury aircraft. Hosted by All in Aviation Flight School, Cirrus Aircraft revealed the Cirrus Aircraft 7000 SR Series single-engine private aircraft. Also on display were two 6-seat single-engine luxury private jets. We look forward to featuring Paul Salak of All-in-One Aviation in the near future. The contemporary mime and comedian, who was also a guest on our That's So Vegas TV series, Tape Face, has signed a multi-year residency at Harrah's beginning Friday, March 16th at 7 p.m. He will be performing in his very own custom venue. Tickets start at $63. In conjunction with his new show, Harrah's will premiere a customized theater called House of Tape. In celebration of 7 record-breaking years on the Strip, Las Vegas #1 show, Absinthe, will perform 2 shows per night, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year at Caesars Palace beginning Monday, May 14th. The Beverly Hills Rejuvenation Center, one of the nation's leading high-end medical spas, opened its first Las Vegas location in Boca Park with the help of local officials and celebrity guests. Co-owners Devin Hammond and Dan Holtz were joined by Councilman Steve Soroka, celebrity guests Gretchen Rossi and Slade Smiley from Real Housewives of Orange County, and locals including Tiffany Masters, James Bond, and headliner Murray Sawchuck, who's also been a guest on That's So Vegas TV, and they all participated in a ribbon-cutting ceremony. To celebrate 6 years of educating visitors, the Mob Museum downtown will hold special events and debut 3 new permanent exhibit additions February 14th through the 16th. On the official anniversary day, Wednesday, February 14th, from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., there will be free admission for locals, buy one, get one admission for non-Nevada residents, and the opening of a new permanent exhibit and 2 new experiential spaces. For more details, feature stories, and the latest Vegas updates, browse our VegasOnlyEntertainment.com website. I'm Christine McKellar. I'll see you next week, and that's So Vegas.
1, 2, 3, 4, get my shoes and out the door. 5, I'm alive. 6, 7, 8, feeling great. 9, gonna shine, life is good. I'm doing fine. 10, gonna do it right and do it again, yeah.